Hello everyone, welcome back dear children. So today I will be taking the last topic, that is finding inverse of a matrix by elementary transformation. Okay, inverse of a square matrix by elementary transformation. Now elementary transformation or elementary operation of a matrix. There are following three operations are there, which are applied on row or column of a matrix, and these operations are called as elementary row or column transformation. Now all these operations are known to you, but once again I will be repeating it. The very first operation is, when it is applied to row, then we will call it as row operation, and when it is applied on column, then it is called as column operation. So any two rows or columns can be interchanged. So this is the first elementary row operation. Second operation, Ri to be replaced by lambda times Ri. This is the second one. And the third operation is Ri to be replaced by Ri plus lambda times Rj, where lambda is any scalar. See, whatever operation I am writing down here, it is in row, the same you can do it in column also. Then that operation is called as elementary column transformation. Now with the help of these three operations, whether it is applied on row or column, we will find out the inverse of a square matrix. Now see the procedure of finding out inverse. So the topic is finding inverse of a matrix by elementary transformation. So see the procedure. So for this, we'll take let A is equal to IA. Now this is a very basic concept, you know very well. When an identity is multiplied to any matrix, then you get the matrix same matrix back. So let A is equal to IA. We are going to find out the inverse of this matrix. That means the question is to find out A inverse by elementary transformation. Elementary transformation. So either you can go for row or you can go for column. See here, very important thing, if you are doing row operation, then strictly you need to do it by row only. Or if you are doing it by column, then strictly you have to follow only column. Okay. So let A is equal to IA, this you will be taking. Now here you will be placing the matrix A. Here you will be placing the identity matrix of the same order. Now to this particular matrix, you will be applying the row operation. So we'll be applying the row operation here. Now whatever row operation you are applying here, exactly the same you will be applying to this also. Here also you will be applying the same row operation. Like if you are interchanging any two rows, exactly the same you will be applying here also. If you are adding it, then there also you add it. Now in what way you should apply the operation? You should apply the row operation in such a way, or column operation in such a way, that this finally should be converted to I. Now when this A matrix, by applying row operation, when it is converted to I, that means identity, automatically this matrix will be converted to A inverse. Why so? Because we know that A inverse into A results identity. And from here you can take out A inverse, and from there you will be getting the value of A inverse, or A inverse you will be getting from this. So let me repeat it again. See the procedure, what to do. You will be finding out A inverse by elementary transformation. There are two ways, either you can go for row or you can go for column. Now what is the procedure? This A matrix, you will be replacing it by the matrix whatever is given over there, and identity of the same order you will be taking the right side. Now what way will be applying the row operation? Apply the row operation in A in such a way that it should be converted to identity. Now identity, you know that what is an identity matrix? Identity matrix is a square matrix whose non-diagonal elements are 0 and diagonal elements equal to 1. So very well it is clear to you that which position, if it is diagonal position then the value will be 1, if it is non-diagonal then it is 0. So keeping that in mind, you have to apply the row operation or the column operation. So finally after applying 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or 5 operations, this can be converted to identity. And when this is converted to identity, this matrix I will be converted to A inverse. So one more important thing, we are concentrating here to convert A to I. But you should always keep it in mind from where you are getting the answer, the answer is obtained from the right hand side. So whatever you are applying in the left, with that seriousness you have to apply in right side also. So if somewhere if you are making mistake, then definitely you will be getting a wrong answer. So this is the entire procedure of finding out A inverse. Now see, when I explain this, it seems difficult ki how, where, from, in what method we should apply, how to get 1 or how to get 0. So if you are going in a particular loop, I will be telling you, I will be explaining you the loop also, the procedure, how to move. If you are going by that procedure, definitely this will be an easy task. It's just like a game of converting number to either to 1 or to 0. So definitely you will be enjoying, you will be liking this, the procedure of converting A to I, and simultaneously I will be converted to A inverse. So let us start. Let me take an example. Consider a matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I am going to explain the loop here, and then with a proper example I will be explaining the entire procedure. This is the matrix A. We are going to find out the inverse of this matrix. So let us go for row operation. So the very first step will be, you will be writing A as I into A. Now what will be the next step? Replace A by the given matrix. So A is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This will be placed in the left hand side, and in the right hand side the identity 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 into A. Now how to start? If it is a row operation, then the movement will be column. See, I am making an arrow here which shows the direction. So this will be the direction of movement. So in what way we'll proceed? The very first step will be, you will be converting or you will be applying the row operation in such a way that A should be converted to 1. I hope children you are understanding. We are starting with the procedure here. See the loop, I have made the arrow here. So the very first step is, you have to apply the operation in such a way that A should be converted to 1. Now what all the operations you can do here? Like, the very first thing what you can do is, you can divide R1 completely by A. This is the first one, R1 divided by A. Like if suppose here 2 is there, you can make it R1 divided by 2. So when you will divide it by 2, naturally you will get this position as 1. The second option, you can take the help of R2, R3, you can interchange. So all the options are open here. Okay, so what all the possible operations you can apply to this particular row? Either you can divide it by the same element, or you can interchange. If suppose like in the third row, if suppose this position is 1 and you want 1 here, so go for interchanging, R1 interchanged with R3, that is also okay. Or you can take the help of R2 or R3. So many options are open here to convert this position as 1. So this will be the very first step. Now moving to the second step, see this arrow. The second step will be, converting D and G to 0. That means in this particular step only the two elements will make it as 0. That means what is the next step? We'll be trying to get these two position as 0. D equal to 0 and G is equal to 0. Now this step is very easy. Once you are getting the diagonal element 1, the non-diagonal element can be made 0 very easily. Like if suppose you are getting the condition like this, 1 minus 2 3, 2 4 5, minus 3 1 6. If suppose this is the matrix. Now see the first element, it is already 1 there. That means the first one part is over. The first step is done. Now what will be the second step? To get 0 in these two steps, in these two position. So it's very easy. See what to do? We will be applying the operation here. R2 replaced by R2 minus 2R1 and R3 replaced by R3 plus 3 times R1. So if you are going for this particular option, then operation, these two steps, these 2 points can be made 0 very easily. So simple logic here we are applying, simple concept. First of all, you will be making the diagonal element 1 and then simultaneously in the very next step you will be making the non-diagonal element 0. So I hope students this you are getting clear. So in this way, by applying these two operations here, these two positions can be made 0. So after the first and the second step, you will find that the first column is ready. Ready in what way? Ready that you have managed to get 1 0 0. So in identity matrix, the first column is 1 0 0. So after these two steps, very easily you can get 1 0 0 in the first column. So this will be in this way will be moving. So this is the second step. Now after the second step, the first column is ready. Now we'll move to the third step. Third step means we'll move to the second column. Now see the diagonal element. What is the diagonal element? E position. So the third step will be, you will try to make the E position as 1. Now what are all the possible operations you can do it? Suppose after the first and the second step you are getting the matrix like this, 1 0 0, 2 minus 3 1, 4 2 5. If suppose you are getting like this, because after the first two steps definitely the first column is ready. Now what to do? What is the third step? You have to make this position as 1. Now what are all the operations you can perform here? So see this, it's very easy. Either you divide R2 by minus 3, so that way you can get 1 here, or you can go for interchanging with R3. So in this particular step, in the third step, you cannot use R1. Why so? Because if you are using R1, then this 0 will be replaced by any of the number, and that we don't want. Okay? So for converting this position, which position? A22 as 1, either you interchange with R3 or you take the help of R3 applying any operation, or finally if you are not finding anything, the best way is to divide it by the same element. So that way you can manage this A22 position as 1. So this is the third step. Now fourth step will be, after converting the diagonal element to 1, now there comes the chance of the non-diagonal element. The fourth step is B and H position, you will be trying to convert it as 0. Now I have already told you, so if the diagonal is 1, then very easily the non-diagonal elements can be made 0 of that particular column. Okay? So while explaining, now I will take an example and I will explain you. Then the fifth step is, after these 4 steps, you will find that the first column and the second column is ready. The first column is 1 0 0, second column is 0 1 0. Now only the third column is left over, what you have to arrange. So the fifth step will be again the same technique. You will be making the diagonal element 1 and then you will be converting the non-diagonal element 0. So diagonal element means which is the diagonal one? I. The last one, A33 position, you will try to get it as 1, and the last and the final step will be convert C and F to 0. So this is the entire procedure, the loop, in what way you will be moving. See students, if you are doing by this, definitely you will find that the procedure is very easy. It's just like a game of converting the terms to 0 and 1. So that way you have to make the calculation ki what you need to apply so that the term is converted to 1 or it is converted to 0. So this will be the thought process. Okay. So now let me take an example. I will take an example, very small example. A square matrix of order 2 and then I will take square matrix of order 3. So let me take an example here. Question is, find the inverse of the given matrix by elementary transformation. See, if this is the question, then it's up to you what method you are applying. You can go for row or you can go for column. So let me write it down the question. A is equal to 7, 1, 4 minus 3. This is the question. Now see, finding out inverse by elementary transformation. I am doing it by row. So first of all, we'll write it down. We can let A is equal to I into A. So write down 7, 1, 4 minus 3. Identity matrix to be replaced by 1, 0, 0, 1 into A. Now let me make the loop also. We'll go in this direction. So this is the direction. So the simple procedure, first of all you will be converting the diagonal as 1, then non-diagonal as 0, and in this particular movement, in this particular loop we will be moving. So the very first thing is you will want this position as 1. So what are the options? Either you divide R1 by 7, second option, or you take the help of R2. Okay? So let us see. Whatever you are doing, you should write it down first and then you apply. That is a very important thing. So here what I am going to do, I am interchanging R2 and R1. Now I will be telling you why. So when you are interchanging, this comes as 4 minus 3 and this is, cut do. Okay, let me take a question now. I will be explaining the method. See the question, A is equal to 7, 1, 4 minus 3. Now we'll be using elementary transformation for finding out the inverse. Either you can go for row or you can go for column. But if in the question it is mentioned that you have to apply row, then it's mandatory that you have to apply row only. Okay. So we'll take, let A is equal to IA. What is this? Apply the value of A here. So it's 7, 1, 4 minus 3. This is 1, 0, 0, 1 into A. Now we are going to apply row operation here. So the movement will be column wise. So this particular step will try to make it as 1. Now what are the options? Options, either you divide R1 by 7 or you take the help of R2. So I will be taking the help of R2, like R1 replaced by R1 minus 2 times R2. Why I am doing this? Because if I am applying this operation, then it's 7 minus 8. So that way you will be getting minus 1. And to convert minus 1 to plus 1, it is not a big deal. So let us apply this, R1 replaced by R1 minus 2 times R2. Now very important thing, whatever you are applying to the left, the same you will be applying to the right. Now this is very important because right hand side matrix only will give you the answer. So let us go for this. R1 minus 2 times R2. So 7 minus 8. So 7 minus 8 is minus 1. 1 minus of minus 6. 8. 2 times 3 means 2 into 3, it's 6. So 1 minus of minus 6, it's 7. Second row will remain as it is, so 4 minus 3. Now exactly the same you do it in the right side. So R1 minus 2 times R2, so it's 1 minus 2 times 0, it's 1. 0 minus 2 times R2, it's minus 2. This is 0, this is 1, and you will be writing down A here. So the first step is done. But what do we want to achieve? This position we want that it should be plus 1. So one more step you will be requiring here. So let us go for that. R1 replaced by minus 1 times R1. Now see, whatever the operation you are applying, some reason should be there behind it. Unnecessarily don't apply the operation. Okay. So R1 into minus 1. So it's minus 1 minus 7. Second row will remain as it is. The same thing you perform in the right side also. So it's equal to minus 1 plus 2, 0, 1 into A. Now what will be the next step? To make this term as 0. Once the diagonal element is 0, it's very easy to get the non-diagonal element. Once the diagonal element is equal to 1, then it is very easy to get the non-diagonal element as 0. So let us go for this. R2 replaced by R2 minus 4 times R1. So applying this here, the first row will remain as it is. 4 minus of 4 is 0. R2 minus 4 times R1. Now calculation you need to do it properly. So it's coming minus 3 minus of minus 4 into minus 7. See, whatever the calculation is there, do it in the rough and write it down the final answer. So what you will be getting? R2 minus 4 times R1. So it's 4 into, what is R1? R1 is minus 7. So how much you will be getting? Minus 3 plus 28. Okay. Now how much it is? It's plus 25. Now the same calculation, the same operation you will be doing in the right side. So right side will be first row minus 1 plus 2. R2 minus 4 times R1. So it's 0 minus 4 into minus 1, it's plus 4. 1 minus 4 into 2, it's 1 minus 8, it's minus 7 into A. See, after these two, the first column is ready. Now we'll move to the next column. The diagonal element, first of all, you will make it as 1. So this is the only element left. Here, though no operation as such, you cannot take the help of R1, because if you are taking the help of R1, this 0 will be replaced. So the only option left here is divided by the same element. So let us go for this. R2 replaced by R2 upon 25. So applying the same in the left as well as the right matrix. So here you will get 1 minus 7. This is 0, 1. Now the same thing you perform in right side. It's minus 1, 2. 4 by 25 minus 7 by 25 times A. Now almost we are in the last part. Now what is the next step and the last step? You have to get this position as 0. So for that you will be taking the help of the diagonal element. So R1 replaced by R1 plus. Since it is minus, so you will be adding with plus 7 times R2. So this is the last operation. Now calculate it properly. In the right side, that is most important. So the left side will be 1 0 0 1. So see this, ultimately finally we got the matrix in identity here. Now the calculation, you perform it properly. R1 plus 7 times R2. So you can do it in the rough. It's minus 7 minus 1 plus 7 times R2. 7 4s are 28 upon 25. So when you calculate, it's 3 upon 25. Now the next one, what about the next one? 2 minus 7 times R2, it's 49 by 25. So when you will calculate, it's 1 upon 25. The next second row will remain as it is, so it's this much. So calculation done. See, don't make the matrix dirty by calculating there. You can do it in the rough and then final value you can place it here. Now almost reached to the last part. This is I, so automatically this is A inverse. Now what to do? Separate A inverse and write down the answer. So while writing down the answer, you can write it down in the way it is given, or you can take 1 by 25 outside. So take 1 by 25 outside. What left? It's 3, 1, 4 minus 7. So this is the answer. Now dear children, if you want to check whether the answer is correct or not, what will be the procedure? You will be using the concept. What is the concept? That when a matrix is multiplied to its inverse, the result is identity. So definitely you can check the answer. So multiply it by A and check whether you are getting A inverse or not. So this is the entire procedure and the way how to present it. So I hope children the loop is clear to you. So if you are going for row transformation, then the loop will be column wise. If you are doing by column transformation, then the loop will be row wise. Okay, one more example let me take. Now this was a very easy one because square matrix of order 2 itself is a very easy. You can get the answer, no problem, very easily you can get the answer, what I mean to say. Now let me take an example, a square matrix of order 3. So the question is, find out A inverse by elementary transformation. So write down A is equal to matrix 1 2 minus 2 minus 1 3 0 0 minus 2 1. Question is, find out the inverse of the given matrix by elementary transformation. See, earlier this question what we were expecting in board was of 6 marks. But last year the pattern changed. Now definitely this year we can expect that 5 marks question you will be getting from this part, maybe from finding out A inverse by elementary transformation or by matrix method. So both the options are there. So practice it properly. Once you are understanding the concept, I don't think that it will be a very difficult part for you. So let us see. A is equal to this. So we will start the procedure. Then same manner what I have told you. A is equal to I times A. Substitute the matrix here. So it's 1 2 minus 2 minus 1 3 0 0 minus 2 1. This is equal to identity 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 into A. So let us start. The loop is the same, the first, second and the third. Technique is the same. What will be following? Diagonal 1, non-diagonal 0, diagonal 1, non-diagonal 0, diagonal 1, non-diagonal 0. So see this, the very first step is already ready. It's there, see, it's 1. That means the very first step is 1. Now no need to apply anything on R1. Now we can directly go for the non-diagonal element of that particular column. So see the column, here it's minus 1, here it's 0. So now your second, this is also done. So simply you have to convert this position as 0. So what to do? We'll be taking the help of R1 here. So R2 replaced by R2 plus R1. Why we are doing so? To get 0 here in this point. So let us apply. The first row will remain as it is because nothing we are doing there. Second row we are going to apply the operation. And what operation? R2 plus R1. So it's minus 1 plus 1. Here it is 0. This is 5. This is minus 2. Third row will remain as it is, so you will leave the third one as it is. Exactly the same you will be performing in the right side. So first row is 1 0 0. Second row adding R2 and R1, so it's 1 1 0. Third row will remain as it is 0 1 0 0 1. See this, after applying this operation you will find that the first column is ready. Now I will move to the next column, and next column means which position you will deal with the diagonal element, and second column diagonal element is this A22. So here you are finding the element 5. Now how to get 1? So two options are there. Either you divide it by the same, or you can take the help of R3. So here you see it's very easy to get 1 here taking the help of R3. What way? 5 minus 4 is 1. So simply what you have to do? R2 replaced by R2 plus 2 times R3. Okay, so let us apply. So I am writing down the operation here. R2 replaced by R2 plus 2 times R3. So whatever you are applying in the left hand matrix, the same you need to apply in the right side matrix also. First row 1 2 minus 2, second row. Now see the operation here. The first element will be 0. This is 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Now minus 2 plus 2, so here you will be getting 0. The next row, the last row will remain as it is. Now exactly the same you do it in the right side matrix also. So this is 1 0 0. R2 plus 2 times R3. So it's 1 plus 2 times 0. Here it is 1. This is again 1 and this will be plus 2. Just check it. 1 plus 2 times 0, 1 plus 2 times 0, 0 plus 2 times 1. Okay. Now the third row will remain as it is. It's 0 0 1 into A. Now what the next step? We have made the diagonal element 1. Now the step will be to make the non-diagonal element 0 of that particular column. So this position and this position we want 0. So we'll take the help of the diagonal element. So R1 replaced by R1 minus 2 times R2. R3 replaced by R3 plus 2 times R2. So understand this step, the non-diagonal elements can be made 0 with the help of diagonal elements. Okay, we'll go for this. R1 minus 2 times R2. So this is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0, minus 2. Second row will remain as it is, 0 1 0. Now see the third row. R3 plus 2 times R2, it's 0, minus 2 plus 2, it's 0, and here it is 1. Apply the same exactly here also. Add 1 minus 2 times R2. So it's 1 minus 2. It's minus 1. 0 minus 2. It's minus 2. 0 minus 2 into 2. It's minus 4. I hope children you are getting this clear. Once again let us check. R1 minus 2 times R2. So 1 minus 2 it's minus 1. 0 minus 2 it's minus 2, 0 minus 4 it's minus 4. Second row will remain as it is, 1 1 2. Now what about the third row? R3 plus 2 times R2. So 0 plus 2 times is 2, 0 plus 2 times 1 it's 2, 1 plus 2 times 2 it's 5, and into A. Say this, the second column is done. The third column already you are finding A33 position as 1. The diagonal element in the third column is 1. So there is no need of any operation there. Directly will come to this position. Here you want a 0. So this is the last step. So what to do? You will, for making this position 0, you will take the help of the diagonal element. So R3 replaced by R3 plus, R1 replaced by, we are applying on R1, right? So it's R1 replaced by R1 plus 2 times R3. So now this is the last one. So let us apply. It's 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. See, the identity matrix in the left side we have already obtained. Now exactly the same you perform the operation in the right side. So what is the operation? R1 plus 2 times R3. So it's minus 1 plus 4, here it is 3. Minus 2 plus 4, here it is 2. Minus 4 plus 10, here it is 6. The second and the third row will remain as it is, and this is the final answer. Now you can compare. This is I, so definitely this will be A inverse. And now let me write down the answer. This is I is equal to A inverse into A. Separate A inverse from there. So A inverse is 3 2 6 1 1 2 2 2 5 into A. So this is the entire procedure of finding out A inverse by elementary transformation. One more point I would like to add. The way how you have done what I have explained in case of row transformation, exactly the same you will be performing in column. The movement will be little different, as when you are doing it in row, the movement is column wise. But when we will perform in column, the movement will be row wise. That is the only difference. So exactly the same manner there also you will be doing. So I hope children the procedure is clear to you. Okay. So students, a quick recap of the chapter matrices and determinant. Almost all the topics I have explained. Now a quick revision of what we have learned so far. Say this, the chapter matrices and determinant, a very important chapter, and moreover after studying you understood that it's easy also. Now see what all the points I have completed in this particular video. See this, the very first was the topic matrix. I have told you the definition of the matrix. So a little bit explanation I will be giving, and then I will be completing. I will give the recap of this whole chapter. Okay. So first of all, I have told you the definition of matrix. What is matrix? Matrix is basically rectangular arrangement of elements done in rows and columns. It's an arrangement of elements done in rows as well as column. The horizontal arrangement is called as row and the vertical arrangement is column. Now see, the next comes element. How an element of a matrix is denoted. Each and every entry of the matrix is called as element, and element is denoted by the term Aij, where I stands for the position of row and J stands for the position of column. Like if I say 8 2 3, then it should be very much clear to you. I am asking about which element? I am asking about the element which is placed in second row and third column. Then next comes the order of the matrix. If a matrix is having 3 rows and 4 columns, then the order of the matrix will be 3 by 4. We write it as 3 cross 4, but how to read it? It is read as 3 by 4. So if a matrix is having m rows and n columns, then the order of the matrix will be m by n. Okay. Now the next is how to construct a matrix of any order. Now the rough structure of a matrix I have told you in my last video. Like if a matrix is of order 3 by 4, then the matrix is having 3 rows and 4 columns. So how to start? You will start with the very first element, and what will be the element? A11. Then the next element will be A12, and that way A13, A14, in that way you will be moving. So I have already explained this. So the next was the construction of a matrix. Now based on this, definitely you can expect question in board examination that construct so and so matrix whose element is given by the formula. So that way I have explained this also. Now coming to the types of matrices. What are the types? Like row matrix. A matrix having a single row is called as row matrix. Column matrix. A matrix having a single column is known as column matrix. Then comes null matrix, or the another name for it is zero matrix. If each and every element of the matrix is zero, then the matrix is called as null matrix. Then comes a very important term, that is square matrix. Often you will be using this, and throughout the chapter we have used this square matrix. What is a square matrix? A matrix where the number of rows is equal to number of column is known as square matrix. Like suppose if a matrix is having 2 rows and 2 columns, then that will be a square matrix of order 2. Okay. Now the next is the diagonal matrix. Now here, before explaining diagonal matrix, I should make it clear that diagonal and the non-diagonal elements in a square matrix, Aij, those elements Aij which obey the condition I is equal to j are called as diagonal elements. Otherwise, the leftover the elements are called as what? Non-diagonal element. So, for explanation of non-diagonal elements means elements Aij where I is not equal to j are the non-diagonal elements. So, coming to this, what is diagonal matrix? A square matrix whose diagonal non-diagonal elements are 0 is called as a diagonal matrix. The next is a scalar matrix. Add on to this. Now what we are adding here? A square matrix whose diagonal elements are same and non-diagonal element 0 is known as scalar matrix. Then comes identity. Identity means a matrix whose non-diagonal elements are 0 and diagonal elements are equal to 1. Unity. Then it is called as unit matrix, or it can be called as identity. Then comes upper triangle, lower triangle. Upper triangle will be followed. Aij is 0 for I greater than j. This is Aij is 0 for I less than j. So all these explanation I have already given. Now moving to the next very important concept, that is equal matrix. Now based on the concept of equal matrix, definitely you will be getting questions. Now what is the concept of equal matrix? Two matrices are said to be equal if their orders are same. Moreover, the entries at the positions are equal. See, if orders are same, then the matrices are said to be comparable. So here comes the comparable matrices. What do you mean by comparable matrices? If the order of the two matrices are same, then we say that the matrices are comparable. For example, if A is a matrix of order 3 by 4, B is another matrix of 3 by 4. So since the orders are same, then the two matrices will be said to be comparable. Okay. Now certain operations on matrices we have done, like addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, multiplication of two matrices. For addition and subtraction, definitely the matrices should be comparable. So the operation, the addition is very easy. Before adding the elements, you need to check whether they are comparable or not. And then the entries at the position you will be adding, that's all, or subtracting, that's all. Scalar multiplication, when a scalar is multiplied to a matrix, then that particular scalar is multiplied to each and every element of the given matrix. That is how scalar multiplication we do it. Now this is a very important topic, that is multiplication of two matrices. Like for addition and subtraction, the matrices should be comparable. In the similar manner, for multiplying two matrices, very important condition is the number of column of the first should be equal to the number of row of second. Then only you can multiply two matrices. And various properties based on subtraction, addition, scalar multiplication, multiplication of two matrices we have done. Like it holds, like addition, it holds commutative property, distributive property, associative property, it holds existence of identity, existence of inverse, all I have explained. Okay. Now properties based on all these we have done. The next important topic is transpose of a matrix. Now again a very important topic, transpose of a matrix. How to obtain a transpose of a matrix? So it's very easy. What to do? Simply you need to change either rows to column or columns to row. Like if A is a matrix of order 3 by 4, then A transpose will be a matrix of order 4 by 3. You have to change either row to column or columns to row. That is how we can obtain transpose. Then properties based on transpose, like A transpose whole transpose is A. K times A whole transpose is K into A transpose. A plus B whole transpose is A transpose plus B transpose. A into B whole transpose is B transpose into A transpose. So all these are important properties. Often you will be getting all these properties for verifications also. Next is symmetric and skew symmetric matrix, very important concept based on the concept of transpose. If A is equal to A transpose, then the matrix is symmetric. If A is equal to minus of A transpose, then it is a skew symmetric matrix. And some theorem also we have studied, like if A is a square matrix of any order, then A plus A transpose is always symmetric. A minus A transpose is always skew symmetric. And the last and the important property, every square matrix can be expressed as a sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrix. So all these properties and the properties based on that we have done the questions also. Now the next important part is determinants. How to evaluate determinant? First of all, the definition of determinant. Every square matrix can be associated to a definite value or an expression which is known as determinant. Now we have learned how to evaluate a determinant of order 2, order 3, its various properties and the properties based questions also. Plus the last one was the application of determinant, where determinants can be applied. We can apply the determinants, we can use the determinant in finding out area of the triangle or checking collinearity of the points, or for finding out the equation of a straight line passing through 2 points. Apart from this, using determinants you can solve the linear equation, that is what called as Cramer's rule, but it is not in the syllabus, that is why I have not explained it. The next is minor and cofactor of an element, very important term. An element is denoted by Aij, its minor is denoted by Mij, and its cofactor is Cij. So minor, cofactor, all these I have explained. Next, these all you will be requiring here, that to the next topic, that is adjoint and inverse. So what is adjoint and inverse of a square matrix? Adjoint of a square matrix is basically we find out the transpose of a cofactor matrix. So for that you will be requiring cofactor. Then comes the term inverse of a square matrix. If the product of two square matrices of same order results an identity, then one will be the inverse of another. A very important concept of inverse, and a very important for existence of inverse, you have to check whether the matrix is a singular or a non-singular matrix. So what is the condition for singular and non-singular matrix? A square matrix is said to be singular if its determinant is equal to 0. It is not equal to 0 means it will be a non-singular matrix. So that particular condition he will be using here. So A inverse exists only when determinant of A is not equal to 0. And I have explained in the video that the formula related to A inverse, how to find out A inverse? A inverse is 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. So now moving to the last part, this was the last part, application of matrices and determinant, that is solving the linear equation by matrix method. This was this, and today I have explained you how to find out inverse by elementary transformation. So dear children, I hope all the things are clear. I have tried to explain each and everything related to this particular topic, matrices and determinant. And one more thing, important thing, PDF you will be getting, you can get the PDF. The link will be posted in the description box. You can get the entire PDF of this chapter, matrices and determinant, from there. I hope children you understood the chapter, but while doing the chapter if you find any difficulty, then definitely you can message us in the comment box and we'll find out a solution, we'll come out with the solution. Okay children, so bye, good luck for your examination.